Good afternoon. Welcome to the return of the Open Gate Show previews and interviews. We appreciate those who have subscribed and those who have pressed the like button, as well as those who are spreading the news that the Open Gate Show is where to go to hear about horse racing. The Open Gate Show encourages you to subscribe. If you don't know how, you can ask. It's easy, it's free. The analysts have a high percentage of accuracy on first-time starters, as well as horses who have improved on the exercise track. For those who have subscribed, the evidence is there. You can go and retract. The Open Gate Show, you listen, you learn, you should win. Tonight, we have an avid horse racing fan. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Colin.
Yes. Your name, and you can tell us what's your first interest in local horse racing.
Okay. Well, I asked Marlon Davis. And my interest started in racing from an early age. My father was an avid race fan, and he was the valet for the well-renowned Winston Ellis.
Miro, yeah.
Miro Ellis, right. Shane Ellis, that. So from an early age, my father was involved in the game, so from that time, I have a love for the game, I'm in the 70s, 80s.
Horse racing then compared to now. Tell us about that.
Okay. In the early 80s and 90s, horse racing used to be much, much more enjoyable than it is now, because, with the COVID and a lot of changes, people used to go to the track and used to enjoy the moment, used to be close up with the horse, the OTB system and all of that, tends to kind of, take away the natural passion of the game when, you can feel the adrenaline when you're at the track. But, racing is still good, because if you love racing, regardless of how you love it over the radio, you love it live.
Well, the present era, with the mindset of people, caused a lot of changes, not only in horse racing, but in everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were, whenever you were at the track in those days, and even maybe 10 years ago, what they call the marble race,
Right.
where you see the young kids, little kids,
Right.
having the marbles on the slope, and they're there riding. And most of these jockeys now, these are the apprentices, that's where they started.
Yeah, that's true.
What would you like to see change in your opinion on what you'd like to try to improve horse racing?
Okay, in terms of racing right now, I believe that this the system and the changes Supreme Ventures coming in, I don't see much difference. You understand me? I think when Supreme Venture took over, I figured that racing would step up and things would be much better. But in terms of what I think is the biggest problem they're having is a shortage of racehorses at the track. Because what is happening now is that you see the same horses run regular, and the thing about it is that the horses are lame. Most of the horses are lame. So what you find out is happening is that in terms of what is really and truly, well, Colin, you're supposed to know what I'm talking about in terms of that horse racing is just not what it used to be.
Well, what I can tell you, for the punters, horse racing now it's a heaven. It's heaven alive, because you have so many ways of trying to wager, and you have the mandatory payouts, you have pick sixes and pick nines and whatever. For the punters, great. And the Open Gate Show surely supports the punters having things for them. But the Horseman, that's where the problem is. We're not the only racetrack that has a lot of sore-ish horses racing. You have a lot of small tracks all over the state that majority of the horses, if not all, are sore. You have to have a winner, a horse that runs second, third, fourth, etc. But, you know, your point on saying that they're lame, maybe that's a little too harsh from a public point of view, but sore, yeah, all over your horse is sore that runs. But apart from that, you, as an avid punter, you have not mentioned the changes then, I mean, like what it was then to now, which to me is really a revolutionary change. You're talking about the horses and what, the jockeys too and those things?
Well, all right. Let me just be frank. The reason why I touched the horses first, I was going to expand, but you
okay, go
repeat it. But the reason why I go to the horses first is that it's more competitive when you have more horse. You have a 5 horse and a 6 horse field most of the time. And when you have that, you have a horse selling 1 to 9. You have a horse selling 2 to 5. You understand me? It's below, it's tilting the tote board, meaning that it is not competitive. Rarely, Colin, you see a field with a 4 to 1 or a 7 to 2 favorite. Racing is not like that anymore. It's that every time as the horse them come out and you look at the board, a horse is tilting the tote board because what is that? It's not very competitive like it used to be before. Because you don't have a lot of class horses, you don't have a lot of horses that can make the thing competitive. A horse dropping to a 450 from a 750, and then the next one stepping up from a 250 with good forms. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's that most of the time when a horse, it's not competitive because you don't have the horse population. The same horses run over and over. And the same horse that run at 450 is the same horse come at 550. And the same horse at a million claiming come back to 750. The competitiveness is not there.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You understand?
You have horses
that is on the horse side. And the jockey side, it is very competitive. Because you have a lot of jockey. You have a lot of jockeys coming through. You have a lot of trainer coming. The other day trainers, you understand me? So there's a lot of trainer. You have a lot of jockey. But you don't have a lot of horse.
Well,
you see the point I'm making now?
Okay. Well, let me expand on the horse racing segment of it.
Okay.
It takes a lot of money to maintain a horse, especially leading up to a race. Okay. It takes a lot of money. For example, you mentioned about horses being sore and everything like that. The purse money at Caymanas Park is a complete joke. You have what they call an incentive competition, whereby it's the biggest joke on earth. How can you have an incentive for people who are winning races? Those that are winning races, they can stay afloat without that big prize money.
That's true.
Put that incentive money into the purse money, or for example, put it into what you call a appearance fee. Right. In the States and elsewhere, you run your horse. If it loses, then you get what you call an appearance fee. Right. An appearance fee, that appearance fee can feed a horse for maybe 3 weeks to a month. The appearance fee now here in Jamaica is $800. That can't even buy a bale of hay. But it seems that I'm leading this crusade alone by emphasizing the ridiculous situation with purse money, the incentive fee, etc. Because whenever there's a meeting and I'm there and I mention that, there's no support in the meeting. Okay. But outside in the car park, when I'm going to my vehicle, you have trainers coming to me, oh trainer, it's true your talk, and this and that. So, it is sad. We're not talking about open gate shows is not propagating for a strike or anything like that. But if you have bigger purse money or reasonable purse money, people will buy horses.
Yes, man, that is so true.
Good horses.
Let me just make a point here. In terms of the purse, You see, what I think they should do with the purse system in Jamaica is try to equate it as much as possible. I wouldn't say to Trinidad.
Trinidad is a joke.
No, well, I
So
really don't know, but I know Trinidad purse was much better than ours when Chris Harman was there.
Well,
That is what I know.
Now it's a joke.
Right, but if it's a joke, no, I don't know. But,
Trinidadian fans, I'm sorry about it, but you know the truth. We rap a lot,
Okay,
so
okay.
you know I'm not telling a lie.
yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is that we know that Jamaica, Caymanas Park racing is the biggest in the Caribbean. In the Caribbean.
Do you know
Yeah.
that Jamaica was the first place to have horse racing in this Western Hemisphere? Closely followed by Venezuela, Chile, and those places.
Okay, I know.
Do you know that every parish had a racetrack? Did you know that we bred the best, not some of, we bred the best horses in the world at one time in Peppers, that era?
Okay.
So the genes are in us. So that's why we're taking minority. And it is in our blood so much, the love of horse racing, that, you know, we'll take anything. Go ahead, sorry.
All right. You see, you were talking about the purse. All right. You see, racing, you know, in the, probably before my time, in your time, in the 50s and 60s,
Well,
I'm a 70s guy.
You're still
No, I'm a 70s guy. Probably you're a 50s guy, but I'm a 70s guy. But what the point I'm making is that coming up into racing, most of the time, you usually have people who used to own racers or the higher echelon of the society. Put it at that. People who have indisposable income.
Exactly.
Right?
Well,
that is what used to happen originally in racing.
True.
But you know, 80% of the people who are involved in racing is not people who have indisposable income. You know that.
That's true.
These are people who is trying to survive and make a living. Right now, the racing industry is for people who is making a living out of the industry. You know? So what is happening now, Colin, that is if you attract those owners that were there before, what they have to start doing now is to start get quality horses, Colin. I hear that there was a levy that was lifted the other day, so people can bring in racehorses now and they don't pay tariff or taxes or whatever. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. The point I'm making is that bringing in the brood mares, bringing in a lot of horses now, people who can afford to do it. You understand? With the farm, the commercial farm, like the Orange Valley and the YS and the Arm Stables and so on. And, you know, you have a lot of commercial breeders.
All those farms are scaling down.
But Colin, this is the time when the farms supposed to be going up, and you said they are scaling down. But let's listen to the point I'm making first, no? These are the only way you're going to get increased personal, Colin. You can't only get, let us be frank, Supreme Venture, you know, Colin, they are under a lot of pressure as well.
No,
You understand what I'm saying?
Supreme Ventures,
They are
Racing
under
and
pressure.
Entertainment Limited. So there's a big difference.
Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah. Supreme Venture Racing and
FVR,
yes, several are what they want to call it. They are under pressure as well because the state of the track, you know. I haven't been to the track for a while and I went down to the track the other day to visit a friend. Because from the COVID, I haven't been down there. I went down there to visit a friend there, and the condition that the track is in, does the stable area, Colin? Oh my God, it's atrocious. It's atrocious. And I'm telling you, I know there are underneath a lot of pressure down there. But just if you improve the racing for all stakeholders, the first thing you need to do, you have to get investors. Supreme Ventures is a, I believe when they take over racing was going to be better, as I said to you earlier. So I mean, if they have people who can invest in the game, why they don't bring in more investors and get more horses? And getting more horses, they can structure the purse better, they can run better races, more competitive, you'll have more gamblers. So, and they can export the product overseas now where they can make money off of the thing.
Okay.
Because they can run racing like 3 times a week.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to make a point.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure our local listeners will agree. Supreme Ventures SVR is headed by currently a set of wise people who they're investing all over in real estate, banking, blah, blah, blah. I won't call them names. So don't you think they're wise enough to all those points that they're making, they don't know?
No. And no, yeah, obviously, if you say they are investors, people who are investors are wise people.
Exactly.
Right? But if they are investors and they're investing in banking, they're investing in real estate, then why did they come into racing?
Why did they come into racing?
You're telling me no, that they come.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. At my age, if anything happens to me, so be it. Right. The gambling dollar,
right,
horse racing is the only product that is competing with cash pot, lottery, and the weekly new games that Supreme Ventures Limited has been having. The only. Lottery, cash pot, and those games, it don't take no money at all to run that. Horse racing takes a lot. Horse racing is not as important to them as the cash pot and those things. See, they're going to Africa. They're going all over the world with all those games, and people's gravitating towards it. Hold on. I don't want to go much further in the whole thing, because I want to tell the truth and I have to be very accurate because, legalities and all those things. And another thing, I'm a racehorse trainer. I have the best kept stable at Caymanas Park. My horses are fine and everything. And I have a reasonably good stable that I'm comfortable with a nice office. So, there's a group present in Marlon. Thoroughbred Owners Breeders Association of Jamaica. The owners and the breeders have joined together. And they have a group of people, Andrew Azar, Howard Hamilton, Winston Lewis, quite a number of people. And Lawrence Robertson, etc. And they are really trying to uplift racing and make things better for the industry. There is a discrepancy where, according to the BGL, Supreme Ventures Racing Entertainment Limited, did not submit the proper amount of money that they're making because they have to report to them. So there is maybe it's a mix-up or whatever, I don't know. But that investigation is pending, and we'll wait and see. But going back to your argument about horses, better horses. When you work it out, to bring a horse here, even if you're not going to pay the government the tax, it still costs a lot of money. There's the races, for example, a maiden US horse has to run against winners here. That wasn't the case before. You have a very old set of conditions, which is ridiculous.
That is the problem, Colin.
Exactly.
But you see the point I'm making now. The thing about it is that when the maiden US horses come to Jamaica, you know why they have to run them against winners?
Right.
Guess why? Because there is not enough for them. So they can run them as maiden by themselves.
Right? But
that is one of the cases.
So why don't run them a maiden against maiden, the local against
No, because there's always an advantage and a disadvantage to it.
No, but when they win on the class, then those maidens will have to. You have to give the investor that buy a horse.
Yeah, but based on the condition, you have native bred 3-year-olds. They are not native bred, they are imported 3-year-olds.
Well,
are imported 4-year-olds.
Good point you made when you say there's not enough of that.
Because remember, the conditions, back when you have horses that the caliber of Blue Mental and Irie and Temperate Soaks and a lot of those foreign horses, Marley Bar, the Classic Slow, and when you usually have a lot of they usually have maiden race for imported, where local horses never, because they have enough. Because you can't feel a maiden race now for imported horse.
Yeah, they
You
have one.
have enough
No, they
engine.
had one the other day. They had two, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
But I understand your point and I agree with you. But, you know, going back to the old thing, man, would you buy a US horse, say, for $25,000, bring it to Jamaica, and if that horse been 10 races out here, you're making, you might not even be making the money it costs you to buy and bring the horse here.
That's true, Colin, but you see, there's two ways to look at it, you know. Because, alright, when you used to have the Wayne DaCosta and Pinchin, when those trainers were, God bless his soul, Wayne DaCosta, and then you have Pinchin. Those two trainers, you know, kind of revolutionized the importation of horse along with Philip Fiorni, you know. But the thing about it, you know, is that while Pinchin and to a lesser extent Wayne was trainers that didn't go into breeding like Fiorni, what happens is that they usually have they usually importing. I don't know who was the owners or who was behind it, but Colin, let us be frank, man. 15, 20 years ago, you usually have at least 30, 40 good foreign horses running per year. No, I mean, you see some horse coming in from the other day, I see some imported horses, probably because of levy or the tax thing, probably because they got a break. Somebody are bringing in some horses now, but look at it, Colin. If you spend 20, 30,000 US to bring in a horse, how much million Jamaican is that? We're talking about
1,000 US is what, say 150,000.
right, so it's a 3 to
You're
4
talking
million.
1.5 million.
Okay, but when you have a yearling, Colin, you can't get a good yearling for less than $2 to $3 million for a good yearling. Because if it is good, people are gonna bid at it to 2 to 3 million. You understand me? So investing in a foreign horse is like investing in a yearling. And the yearling is gonna take time to run. Most of the time when a foreign horse come here, within quarantine and 3 to 4 months time, they're on the chop.
Yeah, but that point that you're making is valid, but it still goes back to the purse. How many races are you gonna win to get back 3/4 of your money?
But if you are an investor,
To go to market again.
if you're an investor and you take a mare, say you take a mare, and most of the time, even if it's a stallion, if it's a manas, but most of the time those manas that race, they don't use them for stallion purpose in Jamaica. Most of the time they get them, right? But if it's a mare, you can have a mare like, you know, like Dims Damasel, or you can have a mare that produce, I think Dims Damasel produce a woofer produce, she's a manita. That's what I'm talking about. No, I'm just making a point here. So you're making an investment, is an investment for life.
Fine.
You understand me?
Fine. But you're talking about indisposable income.
No, but
But
those
having
are horses that earn enough.
Having a mare
Those
for that horse probably to raise as a 2-year-old takes 3 years.
Right.
And you're talking about 3 years of training fees. No, what you're saying, Marlon, all your points are valid, but the nucleus of the thing is the purse.
The purse. You really need a purse increase.
Yes, forget about this competition.
Right.
It's a joke. I can go even further to discredit, but I won't. I mean, publicly. But put that money in where that owners can earn so that they can see their way and invest again and expand their investment. Most of the horses are the good ones. As a matter of fact, most of those who buy horses from Orange Valley, Wyeth, and Ham, they have their own farms now.
Okay.
Most of the horses now are owner-trainer. Some of them owner-trainer breeder.
That's
So-
the problem.
so-
That is one of the biggest problem, because a trainer like yourself, or most of the small trainers, even as I see Anthony Nunes, Jason Acosta, most of them, they own 50% of the horses that they train. On average, because that is why I tell you that you need more horses and you need more owners. You understand the point? But you see, if you get more horses and more owners, you're forcing the promoters to increase the purse. There's no
So why
way.
not increase the purse first?
Well, that's a valid argument. But I believe that they are operating at a loss. You believe that?
I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. But all I'm saying is, well, I'm speaking of the trainer and the breeder and even the owner. It's not easy. You have feed increase, the cost of hay, so registration of your horse, new owner, colors, and all these things. The original SVREL, I was appointed as an advisor to the chairman. And we had about 155 rules that we made with the commission to amend. That's one. We had things like colored fines and all those things to be eradicated. We had a proposed package from the Stronach family that they were going to send 75 horses here in Jamaica to help boost it up. Well, the chairman changed. Paul Ho is not there again, and we have a new set of people. I don't know what happened to it. I'm a trainer, a breeder, I'm a normal citizen. When you look through the business eye of it, the hierarchy of supreme ventures, SVREL, that is, surely they must have plans forthcoming, price increases and everything. Maybe they want to make back some money first or whatever. Time is time. SVREL has done a lot of good things. The unfortunate thing is, they don't want you to criticize, say them the few bad things that they're doing.
Okay.
Right? But the open gate show is stating that they've done a lot of good things. But anyway, so much for that. Which horse is the best horse you've ever seen raced at Caymanas Park?
That's a hard question.
I'll name the top three then.
Alright, first I would say the Viceroy. The Viceroy was very... you see the thing about, I like to talk about dynamic horses. Horses that can win from 5 rounds to 12 rounds. So
against good horses?
Right.
Okay.
No, against good, that is the reason why a lot of people would say Legalite. Or they would say Heroes. But my top 3 horses, I wouldn't say Legalite. Legalite usually beat the horses at the distance. Nobody could beat it. And then Heroes would beat every horse at the sprint. Nobody would beat it. But I would start with the Viceroy. Then I would say Blue Winter. And then She's a Bonita.
The She's a Bonita topic has been a very hot one on the open gate show in the past. I won't go there because we have limited time.
No, but you can just make a point. Make a point. You know.
Well, I don't think she's in the top 20.
Okay, you don't.
But to make a point, I'll have to elaborate why I say that. That's why I didn't want to go there.
Okay.
But we're going to the jockeys now.
Okay.
Who's the best jockey you've ever seen? Or the top 3 then, put it on.
Top 3.
In any order.
Georgia Son, Andrew Ramjeet, Winston Griffiths, and recently I would say Omar Walker.
You have a lot of people who say Pepsi is the best drink over Coca-Cola,
Right.
or Gatorade is better than Lucasade and everything like that. I hope you understand my point.
That is my opinion in the college.
No, I'm not.
The thing about it is that there's so much good jockey, but you know, because of achievement, you would definitely have to say Georgia Son, Winston Griffiths because of their achievement, and then Andrew Ramjeet because of what he has done locally, internationally, and he's still doing. And Omar Walker, 6-time champion. You see,
6-time local champion.
Doesn't really matter, you know.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
So
matter.
Emilio Rodriguez going all over the states
Right.
and winning races, beating the legendary Angel Cordero, where Cordero shook his hand, blah blah blah.
Right.
You have not mentioned him.
When I mentioned Andrew Ramjeet,
I'm talking Emilio Rodriguez.
I mentioned Andrew Ramjeet.
Okay.
You see, all right, you see, all right. Let me just give you a facts with Emilio Rodriguez. You know that people always compare Fana and Bimbo. But when Fana and Bimbo was riding locally, you know, Fana outrode Bimbo. And that is a fact. Bimbo is always the people champion. That's why, put it this way. Put Trevor Simpson, Joe Buchanan. Because that is how local people deal with racing.
Yeah.
Walker, D. Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
Bimbo, Fanna.
Okay.
Slicer, Joe Buck.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let me just talk about the eras. Who was riding for Philip Fiani before Bimbo, before Fanna? It wasn't Bimbo?
Not here alone.
No. Before Philip and Winston Griffiths team up
Yeah.
that great. Who was the stable jockey?
Rodriguez.
Right. Alright. Before D. Nelson and Omar Walker, who was the stable jockey at Winnie Costa? D. Nelson.
Yeah.
Alright. You see the thing about it, Colin, you have to talk about achievements. You see the thing about it, if I win more than you can be better than me?
Yes.
In racing.
In another.
In racing. Or in sports. In general. There's logistically, you cannot say you're better than me and I achieve more than you. You can't say you're better than me and I win more than you. It's all about winning. It's all about, no, I'm just making, let me make my point.
No, but you don't have to go no further.
With
that point. No, you don't think about no more.
Okay.
The point you're making.
Okay.
There's a jockey in America, by the name of Russell Bassett. He has been more than everybody by far.
Russell Bassett.
And where? At Golden Gates and those places.
Right.
Right? Going to basketball, they're saying LeBron James is the best ever. Because he broke every record.
No, that's not true.
No. But he achieved more. He achieved more than Michael Jordan.
Couldn't. No.
Right?
No.
I mean, no.
He win 4 titles, Michael Jordan win 6.
That's only one part.
No.
I'm talking about points and rebound and all those
He
things.
played more games.
Exactly.
Michael Jordan is 6-time scoring champion. LeBron James hasn't won the scoring title more than once. Colin, listen. Colin.
Scoring title. LeBron James is the leading.
In terms of points, because he played 21 seasons.
There are other things that
he played 21 seasons. How much season did Jordan play? About 11. Listen, Colin. You see, in terms of sports in general, when you talk about Russell Bass, can you bring up Russell Bass? So let me just touch on Russell Bass.
No, listen, we don't have the whole night.
No, we don't have the whole night, but I'm just going to make a quick point. Russell Bass, Golden Gate, Bay Minutes. Simply means those tracks aren't elite, like the New York circuit. Or even, let go California, Santa Anita, and Hollywood Park. So when you have Pink Eye, when you have Eddie De La House, when you have Gary Stevens and all of that, if Russell Bass did the left field thing and go over this, it wouldn't work out. Look at it this way. Look at it this way. I'm going to make a point to you now. Look at it this way. Flavian Pratt has been dominated Southern California. That is Del Mar, Las Alaminos, Santa Anita. And when Flavian Pratt left and go to New York, it takes time him average drop down Colin. Russell Bass is not a track where him have an agent and a jockey. Him is a winning machine. Russell Bass come over and beat them all the while, you know.
All the while? No. All the while?
Yes, man.
Taper down.
Listen, man. Colin, if you are performing at a particular track, look at, you see, Omar Walker. You doesn't give Omar Walker I remember, Omar Walker win 2 races for you.
I was the first.
Omar Walker was a licensed jockey.
I was the first trainer to give Omar Walker win.
Okay.
The first 7 races Omar Walker win.
Right.
I gave him 4.
You see what I'm talking about? But the point I'm making to you, Colin, is this, Omar Walker has won 6 championships. We should a jockey in Jamaica win more.
Well, nobody
win 5.
Yeah, but
but that is an achievement. That is an achievement. And listen, it is like this, Wayne DeCosta will get the accolades because Wayne DeCosta is an 18-time champion trainer. Philip Fiani has won 14. But 3/4 of the people in Jamaica would say Philip Fiani is a better trainer than Wayne DeCosta. I wouldn't concur with that, but I'm just making a point. Because Philip Fiani has won the classic. He has won the championship and he has won the classic. The thing about Omar Walker is that he has won.
Marlon.
The Jackie
With
Championship
respect-
6 times,
with
and
respect to
that
the
is
late-
tremendous.
With respect to the late great Wayne Acosta, of which nobody knows him better than I. Well, except for the last 20 years.
Okay.
Philip Flannan winning those championships. Howard McKenzie,
Yeah.
Kenneth Mattis, and a host of good trainers.
Yeah.
Wayne, with due respect to he, I'm not saying he couldn't win with good trainers, but the competition wasn't much.
Colin.
Omar Walker, good and achieve a lot. Who was he running against? I'm not saying he's not good enough, he's.
Colin.
But who was he up against?
Listen.
Hold on.
Listen.
Let me say something again. No, I don't want to miss this part. No, hold on.
No, wait.
With regard to you saying,
When Wayne Acosta was winning, Fiali was training.
What?
Fiali was training.
Listen,
And Funes was training.
make it listen.
I'm just saying that point.
When-
When Walker, let's let me make my point. When Walker was winning and the jockey was riding, the point I'm making in the Colin is this one. Don't try to take away from a jockey, a trainer, or a horse the era that horse or jockey or trainer comes in. Because let me tell you something. See, you are quick not to dismiss what She's a Manita has done, so she's not in the top 20.
What should she do?
She has done nothing. But
No,
she has done nothing.
Exactly.
But
Against
Colin,
who?
listen.
Against who?
Colin.
Against her teammate
Colin.
who are 8-year-old and together.
Colin. When Secret was running 134 out here, who he was running?
But I don't read secrets.
But that point, that's the point I'm making.
I-
Colin, you see, She's a Manita.
Mm.
Listen. She's a Manita has achieved a triple crown. Isn't that so? Listen.
Yeah.
Hello. She's a Manita, you have Monday morning. You have all these horses. Colin, just listen to
Good 3-year-old.
listen to the point.
Time is
Not
good,
only a
boss.
good 3-year-old alone, Colin. She win the Diamond Mile at 3.
Against
She
who?
win it at no.
Alone weight. She have a tracker card.
Colin.
She have a low weight. Who she beating? What did they? What new is off him? The one base off there.
But Saint Cecilia didn't win.
No, let's talk about money.
Saint Cecilia didn't
No,
win.
let's talk about cheap money.
When we are talking about us.
Since you see her get 133 pound in race.
No, she didn't win it. Just check back her stats.
No, I know that.
She-
She carried 130 pound in race. I remember that one.
She carry 130, not 130.
But alright.
When she
She
carry
don't need
133, she lose the LI.
Okay, she's going to meet my Manita. She's about who shall I wait?
Colin,
No, tell me no. Tell me.
you and me know that the condition changed. Because people like you lobby for it. And the top trainers and that is your friend, I won't call any name. They lobby for it.
But going
They
back,
lobby for it for the condition to change.
The short
The
end.
condition
The short
changed,
end.
Colin.
No, the short end. So the conditions change in basketball too. That's why I have to be the 3 points.
But nobody's carrying 133 pound again. You can't put that against any horse, Colin, and what they achieved. Because they were, if she's a Manita carrier 140 pounds, she would still beat those horses. She's a Manita on 232, Colin.
Jesse Owens, Jesse Owens, under the
Only
circumstances.
3 races
No.
in history
We don't
of local racing run faster than her for the Derby, Colin.
Oh, jeez.
Only 3 horses in history.
Oh, okay.
So if you're talking about timing,
No, I'm
Colin.
sorry now. Jesse Owens under the circumstances is the race of the other one. I respect and rate a person as one of the best, if not the best athlete ever that I know.
Right.
Look, recently, the Brazilian guy that plays for Real Madrid, Vinicius.
Yeah.
The stress that he's on now, when people making monkey noises and those things, and he's still playing good.
Right.
When you're stress-free,
Right.
you do better,
Certainly.
right? The way the Costa and Philip Fiani
Right.
thing, I know more than
Than you can say.
95% of the racing fraternity.
Yes.
What I can say. I would say,
Those are your
Wayne
friends,
is Wayne is the greatest competitor in local horse racing, and I don't think there'll be any in our lifetime and in the future that he's very smart, he's a competitor, he wants to win at all costs, and he's a really stalwart in horse racing.
Which is right.
Right? Philip Fiani, same thing. You have the Kenny Mattis and others, same way. But let's go on, because remember,
Right.
yeah, I have to wake up early in the morning.
Yes, man, sure.
If you were to say something to a young apprentice coming up and new trainers, quickly, what would you say?
For the new trainers, one of the main things I would say to them is that they should, stay focused, try to be honest at all times, give the public, give the public genuine, because the betting public, they really need people to do good in terms of, racing is always a bit like a doubt and it's like a thing people say people pull up racehorses and everything, but the trainers them just try their best, stay focused. You understand me? I know that they don't have enough horse because Colin, come on, if you have a good horse job, Colin, and then come to the claiming shot, 30 claims submitted, and these trainers are coming in now, they want horses. So what is going to happen? You understand me? Tell them not to get frustrated, just stay focused. And they have a license, so you can go on to Queen of Pastures as well. You understand what I'm saying to you? So,
luckily for 90% of those new guys, they are owner trainers.
Well, that is so good. That is what I noticed. Because they so quickly these trainers are winning races. Simply
No, but they were winning races before.
Right, they're winning races before as owners.
Mm.
So they just get the trainer license now. And to most of the apprentice jockey that are coming on now, one of the main things I see with the jockey, they use their whips. Whip. See, a lot of them get disqualified in the college and they lose races. And you see, the thing about it is that jockey has to know that when you ride a horse and get disqualified, the owner is not going to give you the ride again, the trainer is not going to, they need to stay more focused and can use their arms, Colin. They're riding too short, most of them. You know that. You understand? That's one of the main thing.
It's hands and heels.
Right, they're riding short.
But
yeah.
our society,
Right.
everybody want the wicked man. So a jockey will ride, busting and one and everybody, even outside of racing, everybody wants to be a wicked man. I can understand why they said kill Jesus and give us Barabbas. Right? But anyway, Marlon, we could go on for the whole rest of the year. It was really a privilege. And I was surprised of the various things that we try to divulge to our fans. Again, the Open Gate Show is on air saying that Preventive Racing Entertainment Limited has done a lot for horse racing, and we don't know what else or where they're going. We find that they help the punters a lot, so that's where the money is coming in from in the betting. But the horsemen, they need help, because the horsemen, we're the one who buy and train the horses, and the upkeep of the horse is really something. I must make this point before I close. And 95% of the times for the past, since the inception of the Open Gate Show, most of the times I'm not well. But as soon as I started the show, I'm so energized and I feel different. So God bless the Open Gate Show. Keep subscribing and tell others to subscribe. The evidences are there with the analysis of the racing. For example, if you box my selections, more than likely you have the trifecta, the superfecta, and I-5 at times, and they're paid very lucrative. So subscribe, press the like button. The Open Gate Show again will start having interviews and previews. So make sure you subscribe. Marlon, thank you very much for coming.
Bless up, Colin.
Okay.
Bless up.
All right.
God bless.